Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today I bring back to the show Brent Zaradnik. Hey Brent, how are you doing?
Doing good. You nailed the pronunciation, Danny. Happy to see you in the new year here.
No worries. You know I like to butcher people's names. It's only taken me between 9 and 15 attempts to get it right on you. Cool. So, new start, new year, 2020. We're going to be talking about some new features in sponsored brand features, video, etc. So, without further ado, or actually, just as a reminder to the audience, why don't you give them a little bit of background on yourself?
Oh, sure thing. Yeah. So my name's Brent. I head up AMZ Pathfinder, and we work with companies selling in the European Union and North American Amazon marketplaces doing ad management. Been at that since 2015 now. So coming up on year 5 as of August this year. So that's a long time.
Sounds good. So, should we get into the nitty gritty, get into the dirt? Let's get into the
Yeah, sure thing. So
All right.
my central kind of thesis with this was Amazon has moved really fast and furious in the past couple months of 2019 into this new year here with sponsored brands. So I think that they kind of caught up on their homework towards the end of the year in that they wanted to bring sponsored brands at feature parity with sponsored products. So as you and I talked about before the call, I'm not there all the way yet with the API, but as far as features go, it's pretty much there. Really exciting. I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to this because Amazon hasn't made big announcements and everyone's super busy with Q4. No one's paying attention to this little teeny feature inside of sponsored brands. And, you see a lot of chatter on Facebook or whatever, but, we're in this stuff like all the time. So we notice when there's a new option or whatever.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And so, do you want to get into the video start? Whereabouts do you want to kick off on these
I
points?
think video is best. Yeah, I put that first because I feel like this is probably the biggest impact, and for us has had the most success.
Yeah.
So there's something called sponsored brands video, and quite simply, when you go in, if you brand registered, you can select a new option now to create a video, and you have to drop a video
obviously,
file
as
in
long
there.
as the account has this at this stage, because of obviously it's in beta, it would have been
Right.
in a lot of accounts, but not necessarily every account rolled out and US based. Yeah.
I would say it's most of our clients who are US based have it available, although there are some that are quite large that do not for whatever reason. And, we've encouraged them to prod anyone at Amazon they know or send a request. In some cases that helps it along, but it is not rolled out everywhere. So it is in beta.
Cool. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'll let you get in.
So basically a good deal of our clients have it. And essentially what it lets you do is feature a single product instead of the traditional like 3 products in sponsored brands. And you have to upload a video. So the idea is someone searches for keywords and on the mobile app or like on a mobile browser, they see a video pop up. Amazon says it should be like 30 to 45 seconds. It is like silent, it doesn't just autoplay because everyone hates that. And the person has to tap to actually hear it. So you should really put subtitles in there and have like your product in the first couple seconds of the video to grab someone's attention. And this is not like a new thing. Like people are listening to this going, oh, that's just called video in search. I've had that through Amazon for months
So
now.
is just quickly, so people can, is it an STR file for captions? So you would upload, in terms of, so when
Yeah.
you're watching these videos, I can't remember, I think it's an STR file where you can program that, upload that within the file format, and then that will play the wording based on any of the narration in the video.
I think it has to be hard coded into the video.
That's right. But what I'm saying is taking a step back, you optimize the video first before uploading it because it'd be better in terms of conversions. Because obviously, like you said, autoplay with volume is really annoying and spammy that you've seen on like old school sites and where people just jump off the site. Conversions are normally terrible. But equally, your conversions can be better if you've got some level of narration going across the screen, right? Because
I would absolutely recommend having subtitles at this point. We have clients that have given us videos, in an expedient fashion, like they wanted to get these campaigns going, and those don't have subtitles. They still work well. I mean, they're okay, but I think having subs is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
And at this point, it's going to be English language. We are always thinking about the European angle. So of course we're going to be doing them in German, Italian, whatever one day. But right now, you want to get subs in there. I think that's probably the best.
Cool. All right. So we nailed that. Make sure got subtitles, etc. What's next?
Well, one last thing about the video, this is a really valuable placement. Like it shows up in like position 4 or 5 on mobile, but actually the cost per click we found has been very low, like far lower than we'd expect. And that's probably because it's in beta. There's a lot less people using that ad slot, and it's kind of like a new ad position.
Yeah, market demand, basically getting people to use them early doors. What we're talking, 3 to 7 cents a unit in terms of views.
I was looking at some data just before this, and for some really competitive terms for one of our, I would say like large to medium sized clients where we have a couple video ads going, our average cost per click there is around 85 to 90 cents.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So
which is like
old school AMS. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like pretty interesting. And those have very good ACoS because those products are more expensive. So it looks really good. The numbers work out. Yeah. One last thing, it also works with, it also has its own reporting section. So if you go into the advertising reports, there's a whole area in there. It's just for sponsored brands video. Yeah. Which is crazy because like that doesn't just appear very often in Amazon advertising.
Walk me through the metrics. What do we have available there?
Just going from memory, I'm pretty sure it's similar, like targeting report, campaign placement.
Yeah.
And then there's one that is there a search term one? There might be. I don't know. I'd have to like actually bring that up.
I mean, I've not played a video ad, so I would imagine being Amazon maybe a bit behind the beat. They're not showing you average plays in terms of seconds, like first 15, 30, 45 seconds.
All right, like duration,
duration engagement.
I'll be honest, I haven't dug into it that much. We have these in probably, I would say 5 or 6 accounts, and the results have been good. But that's a good point. I think we should all dig into that report and see that reporting.
Cool. Optimize your ad feature.
This is an interesting one. This is one of these like Amazon knows best things, kind of like how Bid Plus was back in the day, where Amazon's like, here, check this box, just trust us. It's going to work out. It'll be fine. I can't say this has been a good or a bad thing because we haven't had like a lot of campaigns where we've checked it and seen like a big difference. But essentially the idea here is Amazon is automatically rotating out different products from your store page into the top 3 products that appear. So you have to write a headline that's a bit more general than you might be used to. And we're assuming here that Amazon's making some estimations about the shopper, searcher, whoever they are, based on their profile, based on their history. And they're saying, well, you wouldn't be interested in the green one. Maybe they want the blue one. Or maybe they want this product instead of that product, even though it's part of the same brand. And so we'll address that by rotating it out.
Yeah. And what results have you seen early doors on that?
Not a substantial difference. Like basically of the campaigns we've run with it enabled and we've watched, there hasn't been enough of a difference either way to really say, oh, it's working or not working. Just not enough. Can't say either way.
Sounds good. Did we cover custom images, mobile only? We've covered
No, we didn't. I just noticed this one yesterday, actually, and I sent a little image over to you. Maybe you could put that in the show notes or something. It's just with with our client thing, we blurred out. But this is also in beta. And essentially, for a long time, what we've done with sponsored brand campaigns is put in lifestyle images instead of logos. Because Amazon says, oh, put a logo in here. It'll show up on the left side. It'll show up on the first position on mobile. And then you can scroll left or, to see it. But essentially, this is like a tacit kind of like admission from Amazon saying, we know that people use lifestyle images. Why don't we just embrace it? So you can use this feature and you can put in, it's on mobile only, by the way. It doesn't show up on desktop. But it essentially shows like a lifestyle image. In their guidelines, it literally says like, do not use a logo, do not use a product image, use a lifestyle image. So the example they give is like a woman holding an exercise ball, using it, and then like some item in a kitchen, like a really beautiful kitchen. And that's like really visually appealing and really cool and really stands out. So this is something that I don't think we've even tried yet, but just wanted to put it out there because I just noticed it just yesterday. Yeah. And this looks like a really cool thing. And yet again, mobile only.
Cool. I mean, I think that's where it's going really at the end of the day, isn't it? Most people start in there, even if they end up on desktop, it depends on their demographic. It's like people above 45, you find quite a lot of them live off the desktop when they're purchasing. Millennials are going to be mobile only in most cases, or tablet form, etc. So it's definitely heading in that way as we go year on year. Product targeting options.
Yeah, so this one, I think you mentioned you're of course familiar with because we have it in sponsored brands, right? So we can target by ASIN, by category. All these things came to sponsored brands, I think like late last year, but we've had a lot of traction with ASIN targeting specifically. Category, not so much, but have seen very good results with ASIN targeting across many accounts. This, I believe, is not in beta. This is just available widely. And you can do this with store pages or with just a product collection page, just put them all in there.
Yep.
Recommend that. And, much like sponsored brands with keywords, I don't recommend putting like 50 ASINs in there. Like, keep it tight, keep the targeting really tight. Think very deeply about how you want your product to be seen in and around these competitor products, whatever they may be. Yeah. So definitely have good results there. And when we do audits, this is something I pretty much never see an account using. I mean, they have sponsored brands, but they almost never use ASINs. So just anecdotally, I can say not enough people are using this.
Yep, makes sense. Negatives.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest one. This was like the sleeper. So you might remember a few months ago, they added a feature where you could add negatives to sponsored brands. And everyone was like, well, who cares? Because we can't see the search terms. When the other shoe finally dropped, when they added the search terms, that's when that made that actually significant, because now we can put in like a broad match keyword and we can add negatives and learn a lot through that. However, in our experience, and I'm curious to hear if you've heard about this or if anyone in the audience has, when we put in broad match keywords, the results that we get in sponsored brands are extremely broad, like to the point where they're not even remotely related to the primary keywords, and it feels like a shotgun blast. It's
and
just
have you noticed
whatever.
that different from category to category, or is that just generally?
That's a good question. I would say generally we have, although I'd have to go and look at the specific campaigns and accounts to give you a better answer. But what we've seen in at least 5 or 6 accounts where we've tried it is that it's really a shotgun blast, and it's not really conducive to the ad type. I think that we're still rewarded for having higher click-through rates on sponsored brands. I think that broad is probably not the right bet.
Yeah, so we're leaning on the side of idiot tax, basically, if you're willing to say.
Yes, like you talked about. I like that. But now we have the search term data, like it all makes sense. We can see everything. And so now we're using more and more phrase match. And since we're able to set negatives, we have better results from those campaigns. So I think phrase and exact, of course, still a good use. But I'd be really cautious with the broad. It tends to just spew everything all over the place.
Cool. Placement data.
Yeah, this is one I talked about recently for another video I did somewhere. So basically, we have the placement data available inside of sponsored products, right? But it's only at the campaign level. If you download the placement report, the targeting placement report from inside of Seller Central for sponsored brands, you can actually see placement level data at the keyword level, which is really interesting because we don't have that anywhere else. Now, you can't do the same kind of bid modification you can do in sponsored products, but there is that feature. I have to look at my notes, actually, because the name of it is so stupid. Custom bid adjustments for placements below top of search.
It's a bit of a mouthful. It's
a bit, isn't it? So the idea there is you are increasing or decreasing your bid for places that are not top of search. Yeah. So if you look at the data for 5 or 6 keywords and you say, okay, these 3, historically, they've done very well top of search. Allow me to build a new campaign and modify this. So, we have 99% bid down by those not top of search. So you're only going to show up in the top pretty much. And you could do the inverse for the others. So there's some tweaking to be done there, but I think this is getting into the marginal gains territory. Unless you have a lot of ad spend, it might not be worth it to even try that, or you might not get statistically significant data even out of it. But this is another lever you can pull with sponsored brands. So we have so many things open to us now. It's mind-blowing.
Yes, indeed. Cool. Is there anything you want to add before we go? What about a couple of predictions for this year so we can look back and laugh? Because I always make predictions and get them wrong. Okay. Your turn.
Yeah, here's a few that I hope turn out to be correct. So all these complexities that are now kind of being added into sponsored brands are I think, an increasing march towards 2 things. One of them is video. I think we're going to see video more and more places. That's pretty clear. Yeah. And the second thing is all these little teeny options we have that make these tiny distinctions with targeting are going to get more and more numerous. So Amazon is, they have a limited amount of ad inventory they can sell. So what are they going to try to do? They're going to try to give us more options to exist within that ad inventory and more ad types like video. I think Amazon, I saw a projection somewhere, they made just under 10 billion on ads this past year. And for 2021, they're aiming for like 17.5 billion. So that $7.5 billion has to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
And the answer
someone's
is
got to pay the tax on that.
Someone's got to pay for Jeff Bezos' new like third yacht or whatever. Nice. And that's going to be a lot of people in the Amazon game, I think.
Yeah.
So my point is we're going to get more of these targeting refinements. And my big hope, like fingers crossed, is things broken down by gender and by device. Those are like the two big ones. So, we talked about mobile. Mm-hmm. Well, what kind of data do we have on mobile right now? Pretty much like, nothing. It's like like squat. We got nothing. So it'd be really nice to be able to see, okay, actually my sponsored brands are showing up on mobile 70% of the time. I have much better performance. Maybe I should make a campaign focused entirely towards that. Of course, these are things that Google's had for like 10 years, but Amazon's catching up. They'll get there. Yeah. So that's my hopeful prediction. I don't have any bogus predictions.
And best way of reaching you?
You can go to amzpathfinder.com, or you can email me hello@amzpathfinder. And I'm on Facebook too, Brent Zradnik. You can find me there, but I'm a little bit less active there. But yeah, always on email.
Speaking gigs, you on the road this year? Got anything lined up?
Oh man, I don't have anything lined up just yet. I'm definitely going to be in Prague, and I hope to speak at another one of Augustus's events. I've been talking to him about it. Might be in Estonia. Talk to them about that. Nothing in Asia, but I hope to go to China in October. So nice. If you got any leads for China, I'm very interested.
Yeah, no, I can hook you up. No worries. But I'll see you May 9th. You'll be coming to London for Seller Sessions Live, won't you?
Highly likely. I think I've already bought my tickets, actually, man.
You bought tickets last year, just after the last one. So
okay. All
good. So I'll see you May 9th. Guys, I'll be announcing more information on Seller Sessions Live as and when over the next couple of weeks. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you again in the next few days. Take care.